I get it, you've been doing a ton of research and you finally feel like you probably have a good idea of what Albuquerque has to offer. But then you're gonna watch this video and say, dang, I really didn't think about those kinds of things. So in today's video, guys, I'm gonna be going over the top 3 neighborhoods that nature.com says you probably should look into if you are planning on living in Albuquerque, New Mexico, especially in this coming year. But I'm gonna also give you some insight that is gonna have you rethinking if these areas are gonna work out for you. And I wanna make sure that you have all the right information. So grab your pen and your pad because it's about to get interesting. If this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, welcome. My name is Eli. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any videos that we're putting out, because we are putting out videos every week talking about what our beautiful state of New Mexico and the cities here like Albuquerque, Rio Rancho, Santa Fe, and all these other cities have to offer. And if you are planning on moving down here, as much as I love doing these videos, guys, I would love to also help you out with your real estate needs. And me and my team are ready to hop on a quick Zoom call with you guys to discuss what Albuquerque or any other city here in New Mexico has to offer to you, especially if you are planning on purchasing a house. And if you are thinking about renting, we have some people that we can connect you to make that transition a lot smoother. But today's video, guys, it's not gonna be a super long one. It's really going to be me going over a few different areas that, you know, a lot of people have been considering when it comes down to moving to Albuquerque. And I really wanna make sure that I reshape your thinking a little bit, right? Based off of the amenities and the different things that these areas offer. And this is not a list that I created. I just went onto niche.com, researched some of the top areas that they recommend, and really picked out the ones that more people that reach out to us are actually looking to move to. So I hope this brings value to you guys. Let's hop into the first topic. So this area, guys, has become a lot more popular for anybody that's looking to relocate to New Mexico. Nob Hill has become one of the more areas that gets talked about when we are talking to people who are looking to relocate here, because there's more information out there on it, number one, but it's centrally located to the city. It's right next to UNM, you know, both the hospital and the college. And, you know, there's gonna be a lot to offer there just for any resident that wants to live next to local restaurants, has a little bit of a nightlife feel to it. And whether or not you like to be in the middle of the action, this is gonna be a perfect spot for you guys. So there is some upsides, there is some downsides, but some of the upside is that, number one, you're in the middle of the city. So getting anywhere is gonna be pretty easy. Like, you're not gonna have to do a whole lot of freeway driving unless you really want to, because it's really gonna be like 20 minutes away from wherever you're wanting to go. In a nutshell, right? Just to really make it make sense for you guys, my partner Jimmy lives in Nob Hill, and anytime that we meet up at restaurants or coffee shops in the area, he's usually biking there if the weather's nice. Like now in the wintertime, he was driving a lot more because it was cold. Like, I wouldn't want to bike anywhere in freezing temperatures. Like it does get pretty cold here, especially in the mornings when we were meeting up. So, but in the summertime and in springtime, he'll start to ride his bike more. That's like a thing here, believe it or not. A lot more people actually enjoy being outside because it's not going to be super hot or, you know, super cold. It's actually going to be pretty decent during the day. So aside from living in Nob Hill, the weather here is great. You are going to have places that are a little bit more known, like the Frontier Restaurants, Saggio's. You are going to have Little Bear Coffee. You guys heard me talk about Little Bear Coffee, and just so much other things there that are super local just to New Mexico, that it's really going to give you that charm and that vibe of a small town. So pretty interesting area. Why should you reconsider not living here? Well, number one, parking, unless you live like in one of the residential areas. If you're living like in Nob Hill, you're always going to have an issue with parking just because it's more of like a urban type of feel. And Nob Hill is a little bit more expensive in some areas than others. So really being able to identify what area of Nob Hill you're going to want to live in and what price point you're looking at is going to determine whether you buy a super old house that needs a little bit of work or super updated house that you're going to pay a little bit more than $400,000 for. So really honing in on that price is going to be everything when you're looking here. And if you're looking for something that's a little bit more quiet, a little bit more of suburban feel, you want that slow pace, relaxed lifestyle, you can kind of get it here. But in most cases, just because it's in the middle of the mix and there's all kinds of different things to do in the area, you're going to find yourself that it's not so quiet. hopping over the river and talking about the West Side, which is a broad spectrum in the hindsight of things, right? Because you got neighborhoods like Ladera Heights, the Petroglyphs neighborhoods, Ventana Ranch, Taylor Ranch. Like, you got so much predominant neighborhoods in this area. Oh, and Paradise Hills, right? Who could forget about Paradise Hills? That offers a ton of value to the people here. But just kind of in general, we're gonna call it the West Side for the sake of this video. And what does the West Side offer? Well, there's more affordable homes here, larger homes, and larger lots when it comes down to purchasing a house on this side of town. Now, it is a little bit newer considering the age of Albuquerque and some other parts of town, like Nob Hill is super old, and some of the houses there, you know, get as old as into like the 30s and the 40s, just depending again what area you're talking about. On the West Side, you're really not gonna see anything come past like the 70s or the 60s, just because even like during my parents' lifetime, most of the West Side was just dirt. Like, it's pretty crazy to think about that. So with that being said, who is moving to this side of town? Who could it benefit? Well, it can benefit anybody really, but majority of the people that we're seeing that are moving to this side of town are the first-time home buyers, are people, you know, that are young into their families. They got, you know, small kiddos, or they got small fur babies, like whatever it is. It's usually more of that starter phase of life when you are talking about, you know, who is moving to that area, and people who are retiring. So, you know, whether you're starting or kind of just looking to relax for the rest of your life, this is what this side of town is catering to. Not only does it like feel newer, but there is going to be less green, right? Because it's closer to the desert side of Albuquerque, but more of the amenities on this side are going to be newer. So if you do want something a little bit more modern, you want an affordable house with a suburban feel, tons of parks that are super next to you, right? That's another thing that adds into the aspect of value, is there's tons of trails and tons of parks on this side of town, and it's super easy to get to the Rio Grande Bosque from here. So if you're somebody that enjoys all that, this side of town is going to be perfect for you. But a couple of things to consider is that you are going to have longer commutes if you do work on the east side. So pre-planning your day is really going to be based off of that commute and that drive that you're going to be doing every day. So if you don't enjoy like a 30 to 45 minute drive, you may want to reconsider moving across the river. But if you're totally okay with that, because right now you're driving in traffic for an hour and a half or two, you're going to be totally fine. Again, there's fewer amenities on this side just because it is newer, but in retrospect of things, you are going to have everything that you could possibly want and need, from grocery shopping, dining, shopping as far as like going to the mall and stuff like that, Costco, Sam's Club, like anything that you could want and need is going to be on the West Side. Like, I live on the West Side, so I know firsthand that if I'm traveling to the East Side, it's usually for something out of the blue that I hardly ever get, or I'm just trying to go to a different type of restaurant, trying to take the kiddos to a different boba shop, or whatever the case is. That's why we're traveling to the East Side. And I do travel across the river for work, of course, but outside of that, if I didn't have to, I would never leave the West Side. Back in the day, maybe more so often, just because there wasn't a whole lot over here. But I've even came across people, and you've heard me say this before, that have never even crossed the river to the West Side, have lived on the East Side for their entire lives, and they don't even know what the West Side looks like. So just to kind of paint the picture for you. But really, it is a good idea for anybody that's looking to move to Albuquerque, that's looking for something a little bit more affordable, looking to purchase something that is going to give them more bang for the buck when it comes down to house space, yard, the style of house, the age of house, like all that, right? Because you can find houses, and I was just looking today with a couple that's looking to move down here from Atlanta, Georgia. They were pretty surprised that on the West Side you can buy a pretty decent house for $327,000. It was crazy. So they get as low as that, even lower in some places. You might get like a one-car garage condo type of deal, but nevertheless, it's still a house and it's still super affordable. Never in a million years that I've ever think that I'd be having a conversation talking about living in downtown, but a lot of people seem to be wanting to live in downtown Albuquerque. Here's a few reasons why. Number one, it's right next to all the entertainment. You're gonna have bars, restaurants. I mean, anything that you could personally want and need for your nightlife is gonna be within a couple of feet from your doorstep. Another reason is that it's centrally located, and a lot of people work in downtown. Believe it or not, there's a ton of people that go to work at the county building, the sheriff's office, the APD building. I mean, you name it, it's probably in downtown. So A lot of people want to live close to work, they want to ride their bike, they want to walk, they just don't want to spend all this money in driving and all that stuff. It's just not a value add to them. I don't know. It's some of the reasons that I've actually had with conversations that is like, man, that really makes sense. I could understand why you'd want to live in downtown or near downtown, just because you just don't want to do all this driving anymore, right? You're coming from a major city and you're just like, I'm done with it. I'd rather not if I can. And you know, I'd rather just walk there or ride my bike or whatever the case is. And I totally get it. I'm a person that will walk everywhere if I can, right? When I was younger, I used to walk everywhere. Just because, I mean, there's so much to see, and it's, I don't know, I think it's almost meditative in a way. But before we got off on the tangent about my lifestyle, why should you reconsider living down in downtown? Well, for one, that entertainment aspect, it's always going to be noisy. There's always going to be something going on. They have events regularly down there in downtown, like the ABQ Art Walk. So if you're somebody that wants to come home and relax, you might not be able to do that so easily if you live here. There is going to be smaller homes, smaller lots down in downtown. It's just what it is, right? Some of the older neighborhoods like Wells Park, Martinez Town, Barrelas, they have smaller houses, and it was no fault to theirs, but they were really just trying to build these places for these railroad workers, and that's just what happened, right? That's historically, they just got stacked up on top of each other and really tried to create the suburb right next to the workplace again. That really made sense for the people there, and the majority of the people, from my understanding, actually built their own homes, you know, from scratch there. So you are going to see a diversity in these houses in these neighborhoods. So if you're somebody that's not looking for more work or extra projects, or you just have no want or need for an older house with some character, downtown may not be for you. Unless you're looking for like a flat or one of those high-rise, mid-rise, whatever size they have there that's almost like an apartment, but you can buy it because it's like a house kind of thing. Like, I'm still trying to figure this out here in Albuquerque because it's not technically a high-rise or a penthouse or whatever. I guess we're going to call it a condo. Then that might be something worth considering because they're actually pretty nice. I toured some of them and actually showed some of our clients some of them, and they're pretty interesting. I'm pretty amazed that, you know, downtown would offer this. So that may be an option for you if, you know, you're not afraid of the noise and you want to live close to all the bars and all the restaurants and all the entertainment. But one good thing that it does have to offer, if you do work on a different side of town, is going to be easy access to the freeways, which is going to be less of a headache. And I promise you that you're going to find that downtown, of course, it's centrally located. Getting to any part of the city is going to be super easy to do from here. You know, I love doing these videos and really getting personal with some of these neighborhoods and some of these areas. Now, we didn't really talk about price point because, I mean, on average, you can find a house here for under $350,000 in most cases. It's just really going to be dependent on what you're looking for, right? There's some houses in downtown that have, you know, Victorian style homes, and they're going to be a little bit older, and they're going to feel like you're in a Harry Potter movie. Or you're going to go to Nob Hill and find that there's a log cabin for sale right now in the middle of Nob Hill. And then, of course, when you go to the Westside, you're going to feel like it's totally suburban America. Like, it really is that diverse and that different, and each side of town offers its own values. So whatever it is important to you, whether it's family-friendly neighborhoods, you want to be close to amenities, you want to be close to entertainment, or you just want to purchase something affordable that is going to be more than what you have right now, or you're looking just to purchase a house for the first time in general that is within reach, right? You're not looking to spend millions of dollars on a home and, you know, feel like you didn't really get what you paid for. These areas and more are going to be able to offer that to you here in Albuquerque, New Mexico. And again, that number popping up in the screen, guys, is my direct line. I would love to help you out with your real estate needs, whether you're looking to purchase a house in the next 6 months or the next year, or you're just looking to figure out if this is going to work out for you guys. Call or text me at any time. I promise you, I love to talk with you guys a little bit more on this to make sure that you're getting all the right information to make this as stress-free as possible. So if that's you, feel free to reach out. But I'm going to head inside. I'm tired, guys. Right now it's like 9, 10 o'clock at night. We're wrapping up this video because we had a busy day today. We had a conversation with somebody that's looking to move from Atlanta. We had a meeting with another person that we're looking to bring onto our team. Like, Things are moving fast, guys, and it's all thanks to you guys, the viewers. And again, a lot of you guys are not subscribed to the channel, which I highly recommend subscribing to the channel, or just going down below in the description, downloading that free relocation guide and getting some free stuff from us, because we love to help and we want to make sure you get all the right help. And if that's you, again, hit us up. I can't wait to chat with you guys. Have a great week. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.